Hello and welcome to the FasterFreedom Show. My name is Sam.
And I'm Lucas.
Did you not like that start, Lucas?
I'd love that start.
Okay,
Great
gave me a
job.
little bit of a look. We have a special guest with us today. We're going to be talking to our guy, Gino. He is an incredibly talented person, but just happens to, lucky enough for us, be a part of our community. So he's done a really, really good job since getting in the mentorship. He has quickly made himself into one of the leaders in the group. So we're just going to dig into his story from loving Dave Ramsey to realizing that's not the way, to getting into rentals, to quitting his job, to going full-time, to doing new builds, to short terms, to mid-term. So if you're interested in all aspects of real estate investing and you're interested in learning how to grow and scale quickly, this is the episode for you. Would you agree, Lucas?
I agree, and I think Gino shows the power of massive action. And you combine that with getting around like-minded people in a community, it's just like gasoline on a fire. So super excited. And to get a little different perspective too, because Gino's not super long into the game by any means. So it's kind of like a newbie perspective, but how quickly success can come when you have the right ingredients.
Yeah, I agree. He's, I know he was already doing well without us. He would have been very successful without us, but I think he will hopefully tell you honestly, without bias, that being a part of a community can absolutely amplify that. So enough, he's in the room, or he's in the virtual room with us, just hearing him talk about it. So we'll let him talk now. So Gino, if you could say what's up and maybe give us a couple 2-3 minute story on kind of, your story so far as far as real estate, and we'll get into some detail.
Sure, absolutely. FasterFreedom fam, what's good? My name's Gino, and first, man, I just gotta say thank you so much. This is such a dream for me. I've listened to so many podcasts in the last 4 years, so just to be a part of this and part of the community, just filled with gratitude, and especially what you guys have, the structure with everything, man, I can't tell you how instrumental everything has been for my journey, and I feel like it's just the beginning. So I'm excited to see exactly where this is gonna be in a year, 5 years, 10 years. But yeah, I guess before I even got into any of this, the last 12 years for me, I've been in medical device sales. So I worked for a medical device manufacturing sales company, and I represented some of the biggest manufacturers within their space. So I led a division, and then I was a director for our biggest manufacturing partner, specifically in cardiology, cardiovascular ultrasound, anesthesia, patient monitoring. So a lot of responsibility. And to be honest, man, it was an incredible job. It was a dream for me. That platform really helped me develop some skill sets for communication, leadership, helping me be able to create some relationships quickly, and just learn how to be like an instrumental pillar for different companies and health systems. So I felt like with that backing and that foundation, it really served me well going into this. But for me, the biggest challenge was, after COVID hit, man, it just turned chaotic. We had to pivot, we had to go remote. And then it was almost to that point where, because we were remote, it just never turned off. So the 40 hours, 50 hours, 60-hour weeks, they were regular. And it was a real grind. And just through that entire process, it was just a weight on me that I couldn't do anymore. So in that process, I actually, the last year was really the first step we took into real estate, and we did 5 deals, and it was just, man, it was such a blast and filled my wife our cup up. So I was just thinking to myself, like, man, if I can do this while working 50 to 60 hours, what would it look like if I can just allocate all my time towards this space? And yeah, man, we decided, I was like, we were in a pretty good spot financially, and I think that we had the right tools in place. So we decided to make the leap. So 8 months in, we've done 11 deals. It's been a combination of primarily fix and flips, but we've done short-term rentals, we've done BRRRRs, we've done sub 2, which, man, that was a game changer. And yeah, man, this has been an arbitrage too. So it's just been this incredible ride.
That's awesome. Let's take a step back now to your kind of original mindset. So you're a successful person, making good money, doing things the right way, kind of following Dave Ramsey, it sounds like, to a certain degree. And we're not going to bash Dave Ramsey too hard on here because he's fine for a lot of people. However, you were following that. I'm assuming you were paying cash for a lot of things and saving your money. So why did you follow that? Was that like something your parents brought to you, something you got through the church, or was that, what was the reason for that? And then what kind of shifted you away from the Dave Ramsey model?
Yeah, for sure, man. And to be honest, nothing but love for my man, Dave Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
And, to this day too, I mean, I'm still heavily involved within our church community and help lead some financial foundations, because I feel like it really is. I mean, it's such a foundation for the majority of people. And for me, it got started back in 2014 is when we were introduced to him. It was my sister who actually reached out and was like, this is something that you need to listen to. And yeah, my wife and I, we listened to it together. And I remember, like, we just built our forever home and we caught on fire. And it just shifted our belief system to be like, you know what, I'm always used to everybody paying a mortgage, everybody paying for cars, everybody paying their student loans. And it just shifted our mindset. And we were in intentional, we sacrificed, and we actually paid off our forever home in 3 years. So that was 2017. So that was 7 years ago. But man, like to be able to have that coupled with now the power of leverage, it's almost like a superpower, to be honest. But I think what got me the most from it, because I remember doing a handful, like our first couple of deals, it was all cash. And I'm just like, how do people scale or do even 2 of these at the same time when you're dropping, this type of money on a deal? And then just being a part of, this group and learning how to fund, effectively and strategically and calculated, man, now it just completely opened my eyes to be like, wow, like I completely understand now how to scale.
That's very good, man. Can you explain a little bit to people that are listening, maybe what Cash for Keys is? Because that tenant planned to be there for another 6 months. So how did you approach that conversation and maybe some exact dollar figures?
Yeah, no doubt. I was able to get the tenant's contact information, and I got that little tidbit from Kayola and from Dusty, like to really understand and know your tenant. So I just wanted to get a chance to meet them. And once I got a chance to meet them and understood like it and introduce myself and kind of let them know the situation and got a better idea of exactly what they were trying to do, and knowing that they're retiring soon and what their plans are to do in like the next 6 months, I was able to really just bring a solution for them to kind of get into that motion quicker with the Cash for Keys.
Nice. What'd you have to give them? What dollar amount?
Yeah, so I ended up giving, so for the whole entire deal, I got a $12,500 credit on the deal. It was my first Cash for Keys. Like I kind of panicked a little bit because I'm like, there's a tenant in this house for the next 6 months that I'm supposed to flip in like 2 weeks. So I offered them $5,000 because I just wanted to make sure that they didn't refuse it. And, I wanted to be a blessing for them too, because I knew that the margin was in this.
And you got the 12.5 credit, so you're coming out on top. So you own 4 houses, you live in Indiana, you own 4 houses in Florida. That's very far away. And then you own another house on a lake that's probably not super close to you too. Tell us about your first deal outside of your market, and then maybe just what's some of the fears you had or your thought process and going through that first deal.
Man, so this is the big thing about just taking action. It was a leap. So my wife and I, when we came into the whole short-term rental game, our very first one was as a condo in Disney. And it's kind of crazy because we bought it sight unseen, really. I mean, we had a realtor go through, took videos of it. We really did a lot of research though with just other owners about that specific resort. And I know that they said that even though they own multiple resorts throughout the area, this is the resort that stayed booked even throughout COVID. So it's like, if this can withstand a pandemic, I feel like, this is just because proximity to Disney, we're 1.5 miles from Disney. Like our guests tell us all the time, it's closer to get to Disney driving there from our resort versus taking the transit system. So it's like, it's a pretty renowned complex. But yeah, man, it was definitely scary. Our kids love Disney, and we were just like, I think that, this is something that we want to dive into. And when we pulled that trigger, to be honest, one of the biggest blessings for us that gave us a lot of comfort was the previous owners. Because man, short-term rental, like now it's good because we have systems and processes in place. But when you dive into it, there's a lot that's involved in it. There's property management, there's reservation vouchers, there's reservation confirmations, check-in, check-out instructions, cleanings, like there's a lot that's involved. So she was just instrumental in helping us building the foundation of like, hey, this is exactly how I did it for the past 10 years. And we really took a lot of the things that we valued from her and implemented in ours, and then, added some things of our own. But I would say that they were really key for us to be successful in that space. And ever since then, man, we took off with that first one. Loved it. Loved being a part of everybody's Disney or, Florida vacations throughout it and making it special. So since then, man, that was last year. And yeah, we have 4 now. So it's definitely exciting.
Outside of real estate, what do you think is one thing on your bucket list, maybe yourself or you and your family want to accomplish over the next year or 2 or 3?
So outside of real estate, for me, to be honest, like it would mean the world to me if I could just pay off my parents' mortgage. Like that would be the biggest thing. So that's kind of a big bucket list focal point for me. And aside from that, man, to be honest, like my morning routine really drives a lot of my days. It has my vision board. And I think that as long as I do the little practices, it's going to turn into something amazing. So to be honest, for me, it's just continuing to focus like bi-weekly date days with the wifey, and then monthly like individual date days with my kids to make sure I can pour into them, and then coaching and stuff. But aside from that, I would say just continuing to build some incredible memories with our kids. Like we're very just big into the disciplines and the habits that we continue to do. Like it's Fun Family Friday today. We do that every Friday. So I know they're going to be pumped to get home and get that started.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.